Almost 20 years ago, 3D sculpting started becoming really popular among 3D artists, especially character artists, because they suddenly had the freedom to sculpt using millions of polygons. It looked nice, but there was a problem. It needed a better topology in order to be usable in animation and game development. That's when a small team of developers made a software called TopoGun, which changed everything. So how was it made and where it is today? Because a lot of people don't know about it. Before we continue, I want to let you guys know that SuperHive is having right now its spring sale with a 25% discount on thousands of products. So if you have some add-ons or assets in mind that you haven't picked up yet, right now is the best time to do so. And if you don't know where to start, I have great suggestions down in the description. TopoGun originally appeared in the late 2000s, during the moment when digital sculpting was exploding in popularity because of ZBrush. 3D artists suddenly had the power to sculpt insanely detailed characters with millions of polygons, as I said, but there was a huge problem. These meshes were terrible for animation, games, and rendering pipelines, so studios needed a way to rebuild those giant sculpts in clean and lightweight meshes with proper edge flow, and that's where TopoGun came in. The software is created by a small company called Pixel Machine, and instead of trying to compete with giant all-in-one 3D software like Maya, Max, and Blender, they focused entirely on one thing: retopology. The decision actually made the software stand out immediately. At the time, most 3D software either had weak retopo tools or no dedicated workflow at all, so 3D artists suddenly had this lightweight program, where you could directly draw clean polygons over the sculpt, almost like tracing. And what really made TopoGun popular was character art. You see, around the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, game studios were pushing high detail characters harder than ever, but everything still had to be optimized carefully for animation and engine performance. So TopoGun introduced workflows where 3D artists could literally draw polygons directly onto a sculpt and have them snap perfectly to the surface in real time. Features like the draw tool, brush relax, automatic surface snapping, and face edge loop creation made the process feel almost like sketching on clay instead of fine vertices all day. Many people loved how fast TopoGun felt, for building edge loops around the eyes, the mouth, shoulders, elbows, and knees. I mean, all the areas that deform during animation. Another reason it became famous is that it felt incredibly focused and simple compared to bigger software. You weren't dealing with animation tools, rendering settings, particles, simulations, or giant menus everywhere. You open the software, load your sculpt, and start retopologizing immediately. And this made it especially popular among freelancers, creature artists, and even AAA character modelers who spent hours every day rebuilding meshes. And a lot of training sites and tutorials, especially from the early 2010s, heavily recommended it because beginners could learn it pretty quickly. Then something interesting happened. Other 3D software started catching up. Maya, for example, added Quad Draw, and Blender massively improved its retopology workflow, and tools like 3D Code and ZBrush added stronger automatic remeshing systems. Meanwhile, TopoGun version 2 went years without major updates. Because when TopoGun basically disappeared for years without any updates, a lot of 3D artists had this weird mix of frustration and nostalgia toward the software. People still loved the actual retopology workflow since TopoGun was genuinely one of the smoothest tools for manual retopology. But at the same time, the community started feeling abandoned. Forums became quiet and support response got inconsistent, and artists began wondering if the software was dead. But despite that, TopoGun kept this kind of legendary reputation among character artists, especially because many people still found its manual retopology workflow was smoother and more specialized than general purpose software. Then after years of silence, TopoGun 3 suddenly appeared with modern features like patch tools, semi-automatic workflows, masking systems, improved baking, and new mesh generation tools. And this comeback reminded people why the software became respected in the first place. It was one of the pioneers that basically helped define modern retopology workflows, especially for games, animation, and VFX. Honestly, today TopoGun sits in a very interesting spot. It is still an extremely good retopology tool, and in some areas, it genuinely feels smoother and more specialized than retopology tools inside the biggest 3D software. And a lot of 3D artists still love it because of how lightweight and focused it is, compared to opening a giant software like Max, Maya, or Blender to do retopo work. And tools like Patch, Draw, Relax, Surface Snapping, and the overall responsiveness are still considered excellent, especially for organic character work. And a lot of artists say manual retopo work in TopoGun feels more fluid because the entire software was designed around that single task, instead of retopo being one feature among hundreds. But at the same time, to be honest, the industry changed a lot while TopoGun was quiet for years. But nonetheless, I personally think the software is still really useful, because if you think about it, a lot of artists still use plugins and add-ons for retopology work inside their 3D software. So you might as well give TopoGun a shot if you're doing a lot of retopology work. And there you have it, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, please subscribe to the channel to receive more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.